that we do on Sundays with families in mind. So great to have you joining me today. And today, kids, what we're looking at is we're looking at being stiff necked. So, kids, what I want you to do is get a little loose, right? And I just want you to be stiff necked, super stiff neck. Like, don't move your neck a lick. And boy, doesn't that feel kind of funny to just be that rigid? Well, it's interesting because the Lord actually uses that as an analogy of a way not to live. Now, first off, sometimes we get a stiff neck because we slept wrong or we hurt our necks. We have to wear a neck collar. That's not a bad thing. No, those things happen. This is talking when we choose, and kids, you can do this when we choose to live like this with a super stiff neck. So I want to read to you the warning here, and I think you kids will find it funny, and it's a good warning for all of us. And this is the Lord talking with Moses, thousands of years old, and Moses was the person who led way back when, led these beautiful people out of slavery into a land of freedom. That's where we pick up the story. And Moses hurried and knelt to the ground and bowed. And he said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord." In other words, if you look at me well, may my Lord go among us, all the people who he's leading out of slavery here. It is a stiff-necked people, and forgive our wickedness and sin, and take us as your inheritance. So here's Moses going, and he's going like, "Look, Lord, I got news for you. We're all like this. We're all stiff-necked. We all are stiff-necked. Please help us. Please help us." So what do you think he wanted the Lord to help him with? Well, I think this. I think he wanted the Lord to help them with being able to look around. Just turn your head around. Just notice how different that feels when we turn our neck around versus being really, really stiff-necked. It's a beautiful way to look at the world, kids, and the Lord wants us to be able to look around. Now, why does he want us to be able to look around? Well, here's a possible answer for us. Sometimes it's really fun to go out looking for something. Some people are birders and they love to go out and look at birds. Some people are flower people. They love to go out and they look at flowers. And that's really beautiful. That's a really good thing to go out and find those things where you just want to look at one thing. Really beautiful, right? And here's a part of it. That's beautiful. And if we're looking for just one thing, we won't see anything else. Isn't that kind of funny? So imagine this, kids. Imagine you go out there into the world and you're just looking at flowers. You're just looking at flowers. That's all you're going to see. Are you going to see any birds that are flying up there above you? Probably not. And if you're looking up there just at the birds of the sky and you're just focusing on the birds, are you going to see all the flowers down there in the ground? Probably not. And what the Lord is saying, he's not saying it's bad to look at birds or it's bad to look at flowers. He's saying what we have to remember is not to get too stiff-necked. In other words, not to get to the point where all we see is this. All we see is what we're looking for, where we actually start to look at the world in a lot of different ways. In other words, we learn to turn around and turn this way, and we start to look up and we start to see the birds of the sky, and then we look down and we start to see the flowers on the ground. Boy, that's a beautiful way to see life. Why does the Lord want us to see that? Because he wants us to see how beautiful the world is. Because if we start to see how beautiful the world is, we'll start to see how beautiful other people just like you are. And we'll start to see just how beautiful the Lord has made us, just how beautiful we are, just how beautiful everything is. And that's where we have to be able to turn our neck around and see it in all kinds of different ways. So, kids, when you're with your families this week, and maybe you're living with grandparents or aunts or uncles or foster parents or your biological parents, who knows who you're living with, but regardless of what your family looks like, really start to look around and start to see the beauty in things, because there's an incredible amount of beauty out there in the world. We can see it all around us. The Lord made a beautiful world. And what he's asking us to do with the smile is to not be stiff-necked and to actually take time to see it. So that's our thought for today, folks, is to learn how to not be stiff-necked. And kids, if you notice, I put on the little graphic for today's service, an owl, because owls can spin their heads all around. So let's have a day where we're just learning to spin our heads around and start to see beauty in as many places as we can. And with that, kids, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little blessing and a little prayer. And and then I'll wish you all a great week ahead. So with that, Kids, let's get a little breath and a little prayer. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and bring you peace and bring you home. Amen. All right, kids, I'm wishing you the very, very best in the week ahead. May you see lots of beauty all around you, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.